Hey everybody, it's Matt Brown. We're going to look at Lithium in this one. So Lithium is tuned down a full step and it's in the key of E. So I'll play the beginning for you and then we'll talk about that. Alright, so you're basically arpeggiating some simple power chords here. The first chord that's implied is an E, and for the E chord, you're just hitting an E note, and then gonna mute your sixth string, and then hit it again. So that's covers the E chord. The next chord would be a G sharp 5, so that's 4, 6, 6. And then what you're gonna do here is play the root note, and then either the fifth or the fifth and the octave, so that would be option 1 or be option 2, and then a mute, and then the open string. So we'd have for the first measure. Now we're going to do the same idea we did with the G sharp 5 with the C sharp 5. So that is a fifth string root chord, 4, 6, 6. So you're going to hit the root, and then either the fifth and the octave or just the fifth, a mute, and then an open E note. So, like that. Alright, and then the next thing he does is he arpeggiates an A5 chord. So that is 6 string root, 5, 7, 7. And you're just going to go, so arpeggiating the chord. And sometimes, like the first couple of times he plays this, he starts off real quiet. He's playing fewer notes. And as he progresses through the verses, he starts playing a little bit louder and palm muting a little bit less and kind of strumming more notes in each of the chords generally as he moves closer and closer to the chorus. So what he's doing is in a very, very subtle way, building the dynamics up slowly through the verse into the chorus. Alright, so the next part of the verse is the... So what he's doing there is just a regular C power chord. So that's a fifth string root, 3, 5, 5. Quarter note, 2 eighth notes. Then you're going to slide up to a D5 at the 5th and 7th frets. And then the next little bit is a B5, so that's 2, 4, 4, sliding up to the D5. So between there's a little open A note that kind of serves as a transition from the D5 to the B5. And so he either ends the riff with an open A or an open E, and then you're back to the beginning. So as far as the tone he's got going on, I imagine he just tracked this with a completely clean tone. Probably everything else was added afterwards. So on the tone, there's reverb and chorus, and that's really about it. Okay, so the way this kind of transitions into the next part is basically you're gonna do like a, and the dynamics, increase here. And then for the next little bit, that's where the distortion comes on for the B5 to D5. And then you're into the next part. So the next part sounds like this. Alright, so The rhythm is loosely improvised. From one repetition to the next, it's a little bit different. The basic idea, though, is just like a quarter followed by 2/8 for each chord. So we're going to start with our E5 power chord. That's open 2/2. So on the last eighth note, kind of like a transitional open string kind of strum. Going to the next chord. Same thing again. So the next chord's a G sharp 5. This is following the same progression as the verse. So then the next chord would be a C sharp 5. That's 4 6 6 with the root on the 5th string. Then your A is played over here. And then again you have the. So again, the full progression. Alright, and then that's back to the verse. Alright, so we've got one more part to check out, so let's talk about that. So all we have left to talk about at this point is the bridge part, and that's super simple. It's just an A power chord to a C power chord. And the rhythm, there's a little room for improvisation. You don't have to do it exactly the same every time. Playing the C chord for full eighth notes instead of a quarter and 2/8 notes, that kind of thing. So that transitions into a D chord. And then that's how that goes back into the verse, and also how the song ends. So D chord, D5, 5th string root, 5 7 7. Open A as a transition. And then that's just a little lick on your low E string. Open, 3 open. The way it ends is a little different. So the final ending of the song is. So, just a tad bit different there. So that time you're doing a little quarter step bend, and you're ending with a low E note to conclude the song. Alright, so that is it for Lithium. Let me know if you'd like the tabs. I'm Matt Brown. Stick around for more lessons. I've got a lot more coming.